So solving proportion word problems isn't too bad as long as you keep your fractions equivalent. So we're going to be setting one ratio equal to another ratio, and we want to make sure we always keep the same thing in the numerator and the same thing in the denominator. Now there's more than one correct way to set them up, so if you had something else going on, that's probably fine. We'll just meet at the end. So here's how I'm going to do my first one. So in a house plan, a common scale is 1/4 inch on the drawings to 1 foot of actual house. So how long would a room be if the drawings showed 3 3/4 inches? Okay. So when I set up my ratios, I'm going to do drawings to actual. Okay. So here's what I was talking about when I say I want to be consistent. So when I set up my two ratios, I'm always going to put the drawing length on top and the actual length of the house on the bottom. So the first thing I see, so going back through house plans, common scale, 1/4 inch on the drawings. So I'm going to put that 1/4 inch, and I'll go ahead and make it a decimal, on the top, and that corresponds to 1 foot on the bottom. Okay. And now that's going to be equal. So now I'm going to come over and get my second fraction. How long would a room be? So the actual room, okay, that's the thing I don't know but want to, so I'm going to put an X there, if the drawings showed 3 3/4 inches. So again, I'll make that a decimal, so 3.75. So there is my proportion. And remember, if we have a proportion, this is when we get to cross multiply. So 0.25 times X equals 1 times 3.75. Solving for X by dividing both sides by 0.25. Cancel them on the left, and I will get from my handy dandy calculator 15. Right? And it's 15 feet that correspond to 3.75 inches. So a related question, how long will the drawing be for a wall that is 40 feet long? So this time, right, I know something different. But my original ratio is still the same. So drawing to actual, so 0.25 on the drawing to 1 foot actual equals, how long will the drawing be, right? So now the thing I don't know is the drawing. That's where I'm going to put the X if the wall is 40 feet. So I'll go ahead and put the 40, right, the actual wall down here. And then again, proportions we get to cross multiply. So 1 times X equals 0.25 times 40. So X equals 10. Right, so 10, and it's in the drawing, and it's feet to inches. So 10 inches of drawing is what I would need to show a 40-foot long wall of the actual house. Okay, last example here, it's about cooking. So a certain rice is cooked at a ratio of 1½ cups of rice to 1 cup of water. If I want to cook 2½ cups of rice, how much water will I need? So rice to water. So 1½ cups of rice to 1 cup of water. So now if I want to cook 2½ cups of rice, rice goes on top. How much water will I need? Okay. Once you have your ratio set up, your two proportions, cross multiply. So 1.5 times X equals 2.5. Solve for X by dividing both sides by 1.5. I'm going to grab a calculator. 2.5 divided by 1.5. Oh, I got a decimal. 1.6, and then it's repeating, and then my calculator ends in a 7. Do we know how to change that? So 0.666, right, repeating, that's the decimal version for 2/3. So 1 2/3 cups of water for that particular brand of rice.